can't do it, dude. I can't bring myself to do it.
Are you doing a regular?
I'm so tired of it.
Are you doing a regular
Like,
unit?
yeah.
3.5. Like you just like against every principle.
Hold
Like, yeah, you're gonna look for that 3, aren't you? But I don't think.
I am.
I don't. It's
Hold up.
juice probably. Like juice -3. But yeah, I know you're gonna look for it. But
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I got Houston -3. It's on here.
what is it like -118 or something?
-120, but it's cool.
Oh my god.
You're now tuning into
The Cover Gang.
What is going on, Cover Gang? It is NFL Week 8. Eight's a good number because that's how many wins we got last week. Picking every single game, we went 8-5. Me and Justin both. I won our little individual contest because I was up more units. I was very happy with that Sunday night game, as we talked about on the recap. Biggest play I've made this year so far. But both going 8-5, both solid, very, very solid. So we're hoping to have similar success this week. It is kind of an ugly week. A lot of home dogs out there. So Justin will read off all the 1 o'clock games. We'll give our take, both sides, see if we agree.
Yeah, 8-5. Let's run that back. We could do that every week. I know there's not as many teams on bye, so we'll take like a 9-6 or something like that. But recording
Yeah,
this,
I'm happy to not watch a single game and just take that record. Yeah, go to sleep.
We're recording this on a Thursday, so it's a little bit late. Sorry for the delay, but the line's kind of moved in our favor a little bit on some of these games, which doesn't normally happen. So I'm not complaining too bad, but yeah, let's jump into these early 1 o'clock games. First up, we got the Rams at the Cowboys. Cowboys coming off a bye week with extra rest. They are 2-0 against the spread as home favorites. They're laying 6.5 as the Rams try to bounce back after that loss to the Steelers. Where are we at?
You were sharp against the Rams last week by taking Steelers and the hook. I was a believer in that Sean McVay could kind of cancel out that Mike Tomlin getting points, and going forward, I mean, it's no surprise that I'm not a believer in that Steeler team. But I think that the Rams are going to have similar problems with this Cowboys front. The offensive line is just not playing well, very banged up. The defense has got exposed the past couple of weeks, even by Kenny Pickett last week. But it feels almost kind of like a playoff type game for the Rams. Like their backs are kind of against the wall. This is an NFC team. I know Dallas is on a bye. I expect Dak to have a good game, but it's kind of what Matt Stafford's done all year. Is even against San Francisco earlier in the year, they keep you in the game. He keeps you in the game. So I am taking the +6.5 at a normal unit size play. Could see Dallas coming out off the bye and routing them, but it is a coaching mismatch that I'm betting on here with Sean McVay over McCarthy. And yeah, it's just like I said, I think it's kind of almost a desperation game in the middle of the season for the Rams. Are we tanking to do a rebuild, or are we going to try to make a playoff push here?
Yeah. Yeah, at the beginning, you almost made me feel like you were going Cowboys, and I was like, oh, no. Like, this is not what we talked about. Like, we like the Rams here, +6.5. I'm going to just go ahead and say, like, this week, last week the public got, like we said, but I think it's more of that this week. We're paying the public a whole lot, and it's a lot of dogs this week, so get ready for that. But, yeah, I'll take the Rams because we'll count on the Cowboys coming off a sleepy bye week, and, they're a little bit at ease coming back home. With this Rams team, though, when you have Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, I mean, that can keep you in any game. That's a nice 1-2 punch in that offense, and 6.5 is just too much to take with the Cowboys as home favorites. I think the Rams, every time the public jumps on them, that's when you fade them. But right here is a big number. This team can ball. They can stay in games. So 6.5 seems like the good value. So we'll take that Rams team +6.5 for sure.
It is one of those few, and we can move on to the next game. It is one of those few games though where if you did set up some type of parlay, I would love Cowboys money line. Like, I think Cowboys win the game. I just think Stafford keeps you in it. So it's usually anything under a touchdown, you could see the other side winning. I don't really see the Rams pulling this off in Dallas, but you got to take the points, in my opinion. So Cowboys are going to win. I just think Stafford makes it interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we got the Vikings at the Packers. The line opened up as Vikings plus 2.5 underdogs, and this line has moved all over the place. You've seen it at some points, both teams being a pick 'em, Packers being -1. Now the line's moved back towards the Vikings, and we're sitting here on a Thursday night, and it is Packers plus 1.5 or Vikings -1.5. So, who you got in this one?
I've seen a couple sports books. You could still grab the 2. So I am taking the home team in this divisional rivalry. It's just how beautiful is the NFL. Last week, everybody's saying, Minnesota needs to figure out what they're going to do with Kirk Cousins. They need to ship him off. Justin Jefferson's on the IR, so they're done this season. Then they beat 49ers at home, and they look like they have a solid case at making a wild card spot, and Kirk Cousins can do no wrong. So it is a sell high on the Vikings. Nobody is believing in Jordan Love in this Packers team. Still a divisional game. Matt LaFleur, still a good coach. They still got good weapons, decent defense. So you got to take the Packers here. I know it's hard. It's nasty. Everything in you says take Vikings, even at a small 2-point cover. But you got to roll with the Packers. Normal unit play, Packers +2.
Yeah, it was sharp to take the Vikings last week, but not this week. The public's perception is the Vikings are a great team now that they upset the 49ers in Monday Night Football. So about 2/3 of the bets are coming in on Vikings, and Kirk struggles after a straight up win, and what a last game performance. They played it, nearly perfect to take down the 49ers. So the line is screaming value on the Packers here at home +2. So we'll take that all day. The divisional dog at home. That's the recipe. Look, they've looked ugly, and like Tyler said it's just about fading the public, especially this week. I think Vegas is going to start catching the public pretty hard now that they had a great start to the year, weeks 1 through 6. But this is just one of those ones you just hold your nose and grab the Packers +2.
Yeah, let's go Jordan Love. Let's score some points in the first half this time.
Yeah,
I
saw that he's like insanely good per like efficiency per play in the second half, but he's like dead last in the first half. So it's just like
when defenses are playing prevent because they got you down 17-0 at half, like I guess
anyone can
maybe
throw on
you
that.
can.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Falcons at the Titans. We have not missed a bet this year when betting the Titans game. I had to go back and check this. We've been on
That's
the
a jinx if I ever heard
we've
it.
been on the right side, either taking them or fading them. So that's 6-0 when the Titans are playing. So this is an important pick for us. We gotta be on the right side. The bets are coming in at a pretty even clip. Like you can look at several different sources, and it's pretty close to 50% either way you look at it. Falcons riding high after taking down their division rival, Desmond Ridder. And they played some of their best ball against the Bucs. They looked really strong. They had a great defensive showing, and I think that's why the public is going to be coming in on this Falcons team, even though the bets are kind of in the middle. But Malik Willis, not a great quarterback to bet because Tannehill is going to be out in this one, but it's just the spot. You just have to play Mike Vrabel at home. You're getting the +3. That's juicy, and I just think that there's a lot of value on it, so I am double unit this play, even with it being Malik Willis. Titans +3.
Yeah, I'm with you on Titans +3. The last thing you said is the key between a single to double unit play is that Malik Willis is playing in this game. He's a good college quarterback. I've seen him play in the NFL a couple times. He's horrific. It's horrible. This is not a good spot for this Atlanta team, though. Playing a Titans team coming off a bye. Malik probably knowing he's getting the start for the past 2 weeks after they played in London a couple weeks ago. So rested up team, Vrabel. That it's the Titans defense is more had in the secondary. They were pretty good against the run. Struggle against the pass. Ridder, he's very inconsistent. So I like Titans +3, and we say it every week. It seems like with this Atlanta team, like every half point matters. So it was at 2, then 2.5, and now it's at 3, and it's like they kick they get into the red zone, and last week Ritter fumbled at the 1 yard line, fumbled out of the end zone for a touchback when they got in the red zone. So he didn't even get the field goals there, but they struggled to get the ball in the end zone. So you got to take Titans here +3. I'm putting a single unit on it. I don't feel as confident. If Ryan Tannehill was playing this game, no brainer. I'd double unit, but
Oh yeah,
we probably wouldn't be catching the 3 here. But
Definitely
yeah, please go out there and prove me wrong, Malik. Go play. I mean, at this point, just like look like Zach Wilson out there at least, because I've watched him play too many times in this league, and he's really bad. So
we just need
it does hurt, but it's the side variable. We'll have his boys up to play. Derrick Henry has a decent day, and yep, Titans +3.
This is a under type of game. Just chew the clock. 2 run heavy offenses, 2 pretty good defenses. Like chew the clock, cover the spread. Titans. Next up, we got the Patriots at the Dolphins. So here we are again with this Patriots team where we have to make a decision. They took a little bit of money from us last week again. Well, did you take the Patriots last week? Yeah, you took them.
I took Bills.
You
but
just
I told
didn't bet
first-
it. You just didn't bet it. Oh
I
yeah,
told you
that's
it's the
right.
first
That's
game
right.
all year.
So-
like a lot of times we say half unit on here, and Justin actually doesn't place a bet at all.
Usually that's a pass for me. Yeah, but
I have more of a problem. I can look in the camera and say that. I bet on every single game, and this was the first game of the year I did not bet was Bills Patriots last week because I knew Patriots was the sharp side, but they've taken enough from me. And similar here, it might be the second game of the year that I do not bet. I'm taking Fins only if Tyreek plays. I know that's not what you're supposed to kind of say on here to give anybody a side or whatever. It's a half unit play, but if Tyreek is not cleared to play, I'll have some money on the Patriots. If Tyreek's cleared to play, I will bet the Dolphins because if he opens up that entire offense, like if Waddle doesn't play, he's suffering from a back injury too, but I think he's more probable than Tyreek at this point in the week as far as practice and everything has been looking on the reports. But yeah, Tyreek he opens up the world for Mike McDaniel to scheme up what he wants with this run game. Wide open receivers down the middle for Tua. And it's still a divisional game, and you're giving up a lot of points. But, when Miami's hot and running out, that's just, they can blow you out. We've seen it time and time again this year. So, and it's a bounce back spot for them, but it is key that they need Cheetah out there.
yeah.
So hold until as soon as you get clear that Cheetah's playing, Tyreek Hill's playing, go ahead and take Fins. If not, I'd either stay away or lean Pats.
Yeah, this is it's an ugly one because the trends favor the Dolphins heavy, and I'll get into that. But the Pats, I mean, the line, the value is on the Pats by like 1.5 or 2. I mean, if we're being real, but
yeah, I think it should be sitting at 7.5, and
Yeah.
it's sitting at what, 9?
yeah, and 9.5 in some spots,
yeah,
which
that's
is
too much.
crazy. But it is crazy. But look, the Bills, the Patriots sneak one out against the Bills, and Mac Jones finally didn't look absolutely terrible for once this season. But I'm not buying it because if I look into the trends, and it makes me feel a little bit more easy taking the Dolphins here. Mac Jones 0-5 against the spread against the Dolphins. The Patriots as a whole 4-11 against the spread versus the Bills and the Dolphins. But weird stat about Mac Jones, he's actually better when he's a favorite. So when he's a favorite, he's 12-8 against the spread, but he's 4-14 against the spread as an underdog. So he's worse when he's expected to be bad for some reason. And most people,
Well, one of those was last week, so it's like, did
Yeah.
they figure out a little something, or
just-
has the Bills just not clicking?
I just can't with the Patriots still without their key defensive players. Like, I'm not buying into just last game because the Bills have a legit problem themselves, and I think that can kind of trickle over to looking like Patriots success. But I'm not buying it
Right.
yet. I'm
If
not.
Gonzalez and Judon were back and healthy, I
we'll take
I
them.
would be taking
even at the
Patriots, yeah.
7.5. If it were that moved the line or whatever, like we're taking
Yeah,
them at
I
7.5.
would.
We would.
But the same thing goes for Miami. Like Tyreek is that important to that team. He's the MVP of that team. Like he's worth, in my opinion, 2 or 3 points as a receiver. I mean, he creates that much
he gets
of the dynamic part
Yeah.
of Mike McDaniel's scheme. So if he sits this one out because they think they got a dub in the bag, I expect a close game.
The thing is like the Pats played the Dolphins close in that first matchup, and they had their defensive weapons, and they were in Foxborough. Like Tua at home, he's very good at home. I think he's 15-5 against the spread. I just think
Yeah, but
I'm gonna take the
that was like
Dolphins.
that was like third game of the year. Like to say it's in Foxborough, like it is in Foxborough, but like not real Fox. You know, they weren't facing any weather or anything. Like,
Well, it's
you
gonna
know
be
what I mean?
nice and
Like,
sunny down there in
it will be.
in
It'll be the
Florida.
same
And
conditions
Tua
as
will
it was.
feel real good in that home stadium. So I'm taking the Dolphins. I think minus. What's the best we can get with this? Because I mean, I think it's minus 9. Yeah. Regular unit though. I'm gonna take -9 regular unit.
Ooh, okay.
Next
Well,
up,
you're gonna keep that regular unit with or without Tyreek? I
I
mean, we have to
mean,
put it on here, but I'm
yeah,
saying, are you
I'll
betting
just-
it right now, or are you waiting to see?
I would love to wait and see, but can we do that? Like I would.
Not.
I can't do
We're
that forever.
recommending as of right now, as of
I would
Thursday
take-
time.
I would take-
I'm asking you personally.
As of right now, like I would take Dolphins -9 and not really feel bad about it. But yeah, if Tyreek's ruled out, that would kind of really suck at that number.
Yeah,
but
I'm waiting. I've bet some of these games already. I haven't touched this one. I'm waiting.
yeah, not one of the better games of the week to bet. But next up, we got the Texans at the Panthers. It's the battle of the rookie quarterbacks coming off rest. Both teams coming off a bye week. The CJ Stroud fanboys are coming in hot. What do you think, Tyler?
Let me. All right, I just want to explain, and I'm not going to get on too much of a rant here, but I'm trying to explain
You're
something
not on a rant.
to.
We'll see.
I want to explain something to people that actually try to gamble on these games. So, what we do, for the most, we say, "Oh, we're fading the public. We're, buying low, selling high, like it's a stock market or whatever." But there's certain stocks and there's certain teams that, from sometimes a positive aspect and sometimes a negative aspect, that Vegas cannot get a read on. And a la Cincinnati Bengals last year, a la 49ers through the first 4 weeks of this year, 4 or 5 weeks of this year. And it's just with this Panthers team, I understand they're coming off the bye. I understand it's a sharp side, and it's now you're giving me the hook plus 3.5, and I understand I'm supposed to take it.
But you're not.
I just don't know why I would. Talk me into it. I'm fine.
I have nothing to
fine
say.
talk into it.
I can't talk you
the
into
spot,
this.
But they have not covered yet. They haven't covered a game yet.
No. Well, they
and
did for
now-
us on that early line versus the Saints or something like that, didn't they? It was like that back door. But like the closing line, they have not covered yet. Like
the closing line,
they have not.
I think on the closing line they're 0-6.
They are.
Yeah,
they are
because they've had one. They're coming off a bye.
They
so they're 0-6
they
against
covered for us that one time backdoor. It was ugly. It was very ugly. But yeah, you're asking me to give you a reason. I can't. The only thing I can tell you is that everyone is gonna bet the Texans. Like, what do we do here? We're supposed to take -3.5. Like, no shot. I'm taking.
But it's not like it's been reverse line movement. It's not like the sharps have come. It's sharps and Joes and pros are both taking Texans. That's why it moved from 2.5 to 3.5 because they're thinking what I'm kind of thinking.
That happened in the 49ers game, and you love the Vikings. But I understand they have a quarterback, but.
That one sat still. Remember, it sat still at like 6.5. Like this has moved a whole point.
It went to
because,
7.
They're not getting any Panther money.
You
know what I mean?
They might get some of mine. I mean,
yeah, and they might get some of mine too. But there is no football reason you can tell me about this Panthers team on why I should take them.
Bryce Young is gonna pull up and prove why he went number 1 over CJ Stroud.
You've had 6 weeks, bro. You haven't proved anything. Nothing. Like I just don't. You're coming off a bye.
They
like,
need
Frank
PJ
Wright
Walker back. That's what you're telling me. They need PJ back.
No, they need. Like that. That the Panthers ranked dead last in getting pressure on the quarterback.
I did not know that,
Dead
but
last.
I could see that. Makes
Dead
sense.
CJ Stroud is going to be sitting just back there off a bye. Nico Collins, what's Tank? Whatever his name is, Dwell, or whatever. I don't even know who he's throwing to, but he's completing passes. Bryce Young, I know who Adam Thielen is.
Yeah.
I know who Miles Sanders is. Like, he can't get him the ball.
I'm
taking Texans.
You're
I can't do it, dude. I can't bring myself to do it.
Are you doing a regular?
I'm so tired of it.
Are you doing a regular unit?
Yeah.
3.5. Like you just like against every principle.
Hold
like Yeah, you're gonna look for that 3, aren't you? But I don't think
I am. I
I
am.
don't. It's
Hold up.
juice probably like juice -3, but yeah, I know you're gonna look for it. But
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I got Houston -3. It's on
what
here.
is it like -118 or something?
-120, but it's cool.
Oh my God! Don't listen to him.
It's
Take
on.
the
It's on.
Panthers +3.5.
It's on multiple sites.
Every
Okay, we
single
disagree.
person, no, but
You
every
get the
single
look.
person is gonna
That's
listen
fine.
to me and be like, "Yeah, I'm with Tyler." Like I know how it is, but that's fine. I'll take the nasty Panthers right here. Whatever. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, they've never burned you before.
Oh, they
Bryce, I
burned me.
still don't
It's
see
like the
that
Texans of last
Bryce
year.
Young poster.
It's like the Texans of last year. This Panthers team. I'll tell you what. All right, next up, Jets at the Giants. The two New Yorkers face off in what will likely be a semi-home game for both of them. As of today, Brian Daboll said that the status quo remains, and Daniel Jones, is still not cleared for contact in practice, so it's likely that we're seeing Tyrod Taylor again in this Week 8 matchup. So where does that have you placing your money, Tyler?
Last thing I read was Daniel Jones was leaning towards playing. So
Really?
what did you say?
I
Yeah,
saw
that's
I
what.
saw an update on ESPN from Dayball at like 1 or 2 that said he was a limited participant in practice, and that what has happened is kind of still remain the status quo. So like he's probably not going to play again.
Mm, either
What?
way, like I said, I'd rather Daniel be out there than Tyrod. But even if Tyrod plays, I think it's a sharp side to take the Giants. It's a half unit play for me. I don't love it. The Giants kind of playing a little bit, kind of playing closer to what I perceived them going into the year, but they still. This Jets team is on paper just way better on both sides of the ball, all the way up until quarterback. And I think Daniel Jones and Tyrod have a slight edge over, or a pretty good edge over Zach Wilson. But I don't know. Like you said, it's a neutral site game. I feel like the line's set pretty much where it should be, so I'll lean to the point side, but I don't love it.
Yeah, this is a half unit game for me as well. I checked I got 4 sources where I can try to determine what is actually the public side, because you got some sharper sources and then you got some like really kind of like newbie square sources. And like on the sharper ones, Giants are receiving 70% of the bets, and then on the other ones, the Jets are receiving about 60%. So it's kind of a wash in determining like which is actually the public side here. So I'm with you. I'm just gonna lean on taking the Giants +3 at home. Like I don't feel great about it. Half
But
unit
it's
game.
it's home. But I mean, there will be more Giants fans than Jets fans in the crowd. It's kind of
It's
like when
still a
if
home
Rams and
game
Chargers.
on the schedule.
It's
Whatever.
just because it has a MY, you know what I mean though. Like
Oh
if
yeah, I
Rams
know.
and Chargers play, there's more Rams fans than Chargers fans in LA. Same thing.
This
There's more Giants than Jets.
all right. This
But
this next one, bro. Like yeah, let's just move on because it's a half unit game. This next one, we talk sometimes off the air, like, and we know which side we're gonna be on in certain matchups, but this one I still don't know where you're at, man. Jaguars at the Steelers. Heavy line
no,
movement.
no, it's a normal unit play for me.
What the Giants and the Jets one?
No, I'm talking about this next game. You said this next game's gonna be a half unit game.
No, no, no. I said I was talking about let's move on because the Giants and Jets is
Oh,
half
okay.
unit. Like screw that one. Whatever. Jaguars at the Steelers. I still don't know where you're at on this one. The line movement was heavy towards the Jaguars, pushing this to Steelers +3 underdogs at home. You hate the Steelers. Go ahead and tell us who you're on.
Yeah, it depends on what.
Oh, that's
No,
right. It's +2.5. It moves. It's been
yeah,
moving all day.
You can't get a
You
three
can't get a
anywhere.
3 right
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was there for a second. Sharps grabbed it, understandably.
That one's it's touched 3 a few times this week, and then I was hoping by the time we record it would be there, but it's not. You're right.
Yeah. If you are going to take the Steelers, because I am not, but I would. That's what I would do. I would just keep waiting and see if you can get that 3 back. It's very key in this game, I believe. But yeah, no, I'm taking Jags. Coming off 10 days rest. Steelers completely overvalued in the spot. Mike Tomlin, home dog. All the statistics that point towards that. Cool, cool, cool. Jags are a little bit overvalued as well, so
Yeah.
that's why it's just a regular unit play for me. But I will take the team that is, to me. I just think the Steelers are fraudulent. I really do. Like I think I say it week in and week out. They're 4-2. Congrats to them. I think their defense is overrated, other than T.J. Watt, and I think that Kenny Small Hands Pickett is not a good quarterback. And just they got Deontay Johnson back, and So him and Pickens, okay, but you can't get the ball to him until the fourth quarter, and your defense just has to fight it out for 3 quarters. I don't see him fighting it out with Trevor Lawrence. I think he gets the ball to Calvin Ridley finally. ETN's able to run the ball. Steelers are not good against the run, by the way, and Jaguars come in and they remain on their hot streak. It's a little bit of the public side, not massive because Steelers, they're 4-2 getting points at home. So it's
Everyone that I asked though, everyone's perception is that Jaguars are just a much better team, and like that gives me comfort to take the Steelers plus 2.5 and not fight the trend. I don't have any emotion invested at all, and everyone tells me the Jaguars are just clearly the better team, and I do agree somewhat with public. Like just watching the game, the eye test, like I agree the Steelers somehow they do it when they shouldn't do it all the time. But I'm not going to overcomplicate it and try to fight that. The Jaguars have been just rolling hot. They're due for a letdown
I feel
spot.
like you play with fire with doing that.
The
though.
letdown
Like,
spot, it's got to be
it's-
something like this. The Steelers at home. Like, I'm ready for the letdown for the Jaguars. I'm taking Steelers
I'm
plus
talking about the
2.5.
Steelers. Like, it's just like kind of this whole perception on. It used to be Belichick, but
It's a
they're having
ridiculous
the type of year.
perception. Like the stats of them covering and winning as dogs, like it's just insane. Like
Right? Yeah,
it's
but sometimes like
you got to
it's not
call
like
the
it's 100
bluff.
to 0.
Yeah,
You got to call it every once in a while. and,
But
like,
I'm
calling
not
it
doing
here.
it. Yeah, I feel that. A lot of people are. I feel that, but that makes me when a lot of people are trying to call it, that makes me feel better with taking it. Like I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, people that you talk to in your circle that are probably pretty square, I understand that, but it is not. I've looked throughout the sources. Like I said, it's one of those games that's like in the 50s to 40s on both sides. It's not like 2/3 of the bets coming in on Jacksonville at 2.5, and it's not moving. It's pros and Joes coming in on both sides. So
That
I don't hate it. It's kind of like, what team do you believe in? And on a neutral site, I think that Jacksonville is a 4.5 to 5 point better team than the Steelers, and that's where the line's set. So anything, if it was a field goal, I would take Steelers, but it's 2.5.
fair
Anything
enough.
under a field goal, Jacksonville wins the game.
That's gonna be a good one to watch, man. Y'all tune into that one because
I'll be texting you all
It's-
throughout. Every time Kenny Pickett throws the ball, I'm just gonna be like, oh, another one. Did he even hold on to the ball with those small hands? Like, I don't know.
I ain't worried about anything Kenny Pickett does. It's all about TJ Watt. It's all about the environment. Steelers as underdogs when everyone counts them out every time, and I don't
One
even
last thing, too,
honestly. I don't.
Jacksonville-
Do I even have to watch it?
Jacksonville's
Like
leading the turnover differential this year so far. So their defense is playing well. I mean, Trevor's not turning over much, but their defense is number one in turnovers thus far this year.
next up, we got the. It's gonna be a good one. I wanna see how that one turns out because a lot of people feeling the Jaguars. I understand why, but I gotta take Steelers. Next up, Saints at the Colts. I hate this Saints team. Every week we bet them as short favorites or short underdogs. They've been bad against the spread. Their defense is locked down, so we feel obligated to take them. The Sharps have been taking them and moving their line all year. And here we are in another spot where I feel like I got to take the Saints. Where are you at?
So you're taking Saints. You're not riding with the home team.
No,
Catching it's pretty much a pick 'em.
No, I'm going to take the Saints because I know I'm supposed to. Like, I just eventually it's going to go my way. I'm just stubborn like that.
Yeah, no, this is another regular unit play. I haven't released any double units. They're coming, and probably most of them will be in our 4 o'clock videos, the primetime video. But yeah, you got to take Saints here. Gardner Minshew playing a good defense. They're also coming off 10 days rest because they played last Thursday. And Derek Carr just needs to figure it out in the red zone. I mean, I don't think he's so bad that he can't get a touchdown in the red zone. That's what it's looked like through the past few weeks. So he dinks and dunks all down the field. Thursday nights are usually gross anyways because you don't have a whole lot of time to prep. And so that's kind of people's perception. This Colts team barely lost to a great Cleveland defense. Gardner Minshew Magic almost took them to the promised land. They probably honestly got cheated out of that game with a couple of those penalties late. But I was on Brown's money line, so I wasn't complaining.
Yeah, I bet you weren't.
But anyways, the Colts, Shane Steichen, I love what he's doing with this organization. He's a great coach. I think even though what's the record? 3-3 or I don't think they're 2-4. I think they're 3-3.
They've had a bye, right? I think that they middle of the road. Are they 3-3?
They might be 3-4.
Three
It
and
might
four.
be 3-4.
They're either
But
3-3
anyways,
or 3-4. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, he's up there for like not coach of the year because he's not gonna. But to me, he's like he improved this organization in a very short amount of time. I mean, he's doing a good job in Houston as well. But yeah, you got to take the Saints. On paper, they should what better defense, better skill position players, better quarterback. It's Shane Steichen's way better than Dennis Allen, and Derek Carr struggles in the red zone. But I just got to
Exactly.
bet that it reverses back to the mean. So
I
it's
hate the Saints
that's a
team.
normal unit play.
I hate the
Yep.
Saints and the Patriots this year, and the Panthers. They all just Broncos. Let's see if they can make it up to me this week. But next up and last up, we got the Eagles at the Commanders. Commanders are six. Well,
Double unit play.
they're 7 now, home divisional underdog of 7 at home. So they're playing the Eagles once again. In their last meeting, they lost by only a field goal in overtime. Eagles coming off that big win over the Dolphins that me and Tyler were on. Commanders coming off that bad loss against the Giants. Who are we on? I am on it with you. Go ahead.
Yep. Finally hit the number I've been waiting on. It's been sitting at 6.5 all week. Like I said, the delay yesterday was my fault. I had something to do. We usually record on
How
Wednesdays.
was that, by the way? I don't really think I asked you. You went to a comedy show, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a good time. But yeah, it's kind of weird that they had it on a Wednesday, but it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, first double unit play of the week is taking Commanders +7. So glad to hit this number. Perfect. Jalen Hurts is not the same on the road compared to when he's at home. Like, that's why I was so high on him last week. Second time these teams have met. Yes, Commanders kept it close in Philly last week, but Commanders have honestly had Philadelphia's number the past 2 years, while Philadelphia's been top 1-2 team in the NFC. Commanders always play them well. So Commanders looked absolutely horrible last week, losing to a Giants team led by Tyrod Taylor. Eagles looked great, dethroning the Dolphins on Sunday night. A little bit of overreaction. Divisional game, getting a touchdown, double unit play.
Yeah, for all the reasons you said, I'm on it too, but it's a regular unit play because I do have a little worry that they played them so well in that first matchup that it's like, when you go back to the same kind of plays and stuff, they've seen what you put up points with Sam Howell on that offense that first time, and I don't know if they have as many gimmicks or whatever to get back to that 31 points they had in that first matchup. So for that reason, it's a regular unit play, but it's the side you got to play the Commanders +7 at home, no doubt. But that's it for the early game slate. We ran a little long, but we had a lot to talk about, and make sure to tune in to the late game and the primetime picks, and we'll cover every game every week. So we're having a good week. Last week we went 8-5, and we'll try to keep it rolling and keep this profitable season going. But thanks for tuning in. Please like the video if you enjoyed the content. Let's cover the spread as always. Peace.
Peace.